Hey guys, what's going on? We did the natural 2 stars yesterday, so now we're moving on to the 3 stars. Natural, yeah. It may be somewhat harder to find them because I don't have all the natural 3 stars yet, so I kind of just have to look for the totally grayed out ones. I actually never went for Jim and Mia, so that doesn't actually count as a new one. I think I already went over them, so we only have 3 this time, even so. Gonna try and do all of them in one video. Oh, Yeti, of course Yeti, but we only saw the water Yeti before, so I guess we can go over her other elements now as well. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Start with fire, an attacker, critical hit damage by 40, so a hunter skill. Kind of weird skills. I mean, she is an attacker. We're actually going to take a look at her max stats this time, because someone said one of those natural 2 stars I reviewed yesterday had like 30k base HP, and if that's the case, then like, might be good to check them out. Basically, the stats you would expect, I don't know, I probably wouldn't go for her. She needs critical, obviously, because of the hunter skill. NAT3 stats, not a dark or a light type, and then the 5 star is a 60% 2-turn blind. It is AoE, but just the skills don't really mesh well together, in my opinion, so I wouldn't go for her. Not even gonna recommend a gym set. Water we went over already. She's okay, pretty average. Attack and defense down are very useful, but it's only 60% chance. And then we have wood here, which has 80% 1-turn taunt and 60% 2 types of sap for 1 turn. Not that great. I mean, 2 saps for 2 turns would be okay with a 60% chance, but 2 saps for 1 turn at a 60% isn't great, and then 80% 1-turn taunt can be okay for where taunt is good, which isn't really that many places, I guess. Maybe in some really tough golems now, taunt might be useful, but I haven't really messed with it, so I can't say for sure. I was never really a huge fan of taunt at all, so again, I'm not really going to recommend anything for her. Hey, it looks like there are also the light and dark Yetis, so of course we have to check those out as well. So here we got a morale boost at 30%, quite good, and a 70% 1-turn AoE shock. That's pretty good. I mean, shock is the most powerful CC in the game. Very amazing for Astromon League especially, and 70% is an okay chance for an AoE shock, especially since you have morale boost there, so you can get it off earlier and more often. She is a defender, which is also perfect for this skill set. Doesn't need criticals, so obviously I would just have to go with HP defense for her. I know this is a natural 4 star now, but it's still Yeti, which kind of is a base natural 3 star, so that's kind of how I'm going there. But yeah, all around very solid. I'd give her the resist set if you can't get very good resist substats. The HP set would also be fine, or a broken set if you really can't get any good gyms together. She's not too hard to build because she doesn't need critical, doesn't need ruin set or any of that stuff, so very good Astromon, especially for Astromon League, so that's like the first good sort of natural 3 star I've come across yet. And then of course you have the Dark Yeti, and I know I'm not checking their stats anymore. I would just do that when their skills kind of relate to their stats, like ones that heal themselves or their allies, or damage based on whatever, or defense aggressors, etc. So here we have a balanced dark type with 80% 1-turn stun and 70% 2-turn seal. It's another Astromon League Astromon. It's nothing too special. 80% 1-turn stun really isn't that great when we have some natural 4 stars now that can do 2-turn stun on a critical. She doesn't need a critical, so that is maybe more in her leverage, but it's still, you know, 80% 1-turn. Even if it would need a critical, I still think 2-turn 100% is better. I never really was a fan of seal either, especially not a 70% 2-turn on the 5 star. Something like Water Nightmare, for example, that has 100% for 3 turns on her 3 star skill. Now that is overpowered as hell, but here it just because seal, you know, I think seal is one of the weaker CCs because they can still attack, unlike when they're stunned, shocked, petrified, or put to sleep. Just some Astromons won't be as useful, or a lot of Astromons won't be as useful, and some Astromons become pretty much useless, like defense or HP aggressors pretty much. All in all, wouldn't build her really, to be honest. With that being said, we're moving on to Wendigo. Let's check out his, so we got just a predator here, 30%, and HP siphon, restore own HP in proportion to the amount of damage dealt. It's okay. Again, we're going to check his max stats because that does kind of have something to do with that there. Interestingly, he is an attacker but has very close to more balanced stats. Quite a lot of HP for a NAT3, but his attack and defense and recovery are all pretty close. He has a little boost in there in attack, but I expect attackers to have a sort of bigger bump there. And since his HP siphon does directly relate to his attack power, then I'm not sure how great he would be, even with a couple or even 3 attack gems thrown on him. But he does have 32k HP, so that's definitely a good amount of HP for a natural 3-star. Might be good for earlier game players, maybe throw attack HP on him or attack defense because of his 5-star self-healing skill. Less HP he has, the easier he'll be to heal. Checking the water Wendigo now, 20% of own HP and 50% 2-turn taunt. It is AoE, but 50% is so freaking low in this day and age. Even if it is a natural, well, it is for 2 turns. A 2-turn taunt can be extremely annoying in something like Astromon League if he's built very tanky, and let's see how tanky he can really be as a natural 3-star. Well, he does have 27k HP and 2600 defense, so okay stats. If you build him HP defense, he would be pretty survivable, but I'm not sure if he could really stand up having a 2-turn. Yeah, it's 50%. Maybe it's 50% on purpose, so not too many get taunted there. Again, he's kind of meh, you know, just meh. Nothing too special about him, so I'm not really going to recommend anything for him, and we're going to be moving on to the next. 20% SP and 60% 1-turn stun. Just that skill set I'm not interested in. We're going to be moving on. One thing I do want to mention, though, is that I'm happy they're starting to stray off from the humans and go into more monster Astromons, because in my opinion, we already have enough human-esque Astromons, and it's time to get some actual monsters in here, so cool that they're doing that. Props. Looking to see if they have any dark or light versions, although I'm not sure. Yes, they actually do. So here we have Courageous Strike, critical hits, and 2 turns 60% attack break. That's a little bit unfortunate about the 5-star, but you know, Courageous Strike could always be useful, and Attack Down is very useful in Titans as well. That's really the only place you'd really want to use it because of the Courageous Strike on the 3-star. The good thing is he is a light type, so he'll have that natural 20% crit rate. So getting his crit rate up to 100 would be a bit easier. I would recommend going Ruin Set though, because you should be able to get near 100% with just a crit rate gym, and a couple of okay substats should work fine. And go Attack HP with the other 2 gyms, so crit rate, Attack HP on the Ruin Set. This is like the general attacker build. He does need crit rates, so yeah. All around, solid. Is like maybe the second good of the, but it's always the natural 4-stars that are actually the good ones. The Waterwood Fire aren't looking so good for the natural 3-stars. As far as my opinion goes, the natural 2-stars were already better. So Dark Wendigo, we have this special Vengeance skill again. Yeah, so I'm still not sure the calculations on that. I'll have to check that later. Maybe make a separate video on that. Okay, yeah, okay, so yeah. But it is AoE, 10% of own HP, up to 40% if there are 4 enemies there. I don't know. It really depends on how powerful Vengeance is. But actually this Adrenaline isn't very good, I think, because it's 10% of just his own, and not like a team heal like I've seen in a lot of other places. So, you know, I don't really like the Dark one very much, to be honest. I don't know if I'd raise him. Again, it depends on Vengeance, but I don't know anything about that right now. And finally, we have Radis. Taking a look at his skills, Morale Boost and Predator. So we've seen very similar skill sets already with the NAT2s and NAT3s. My opinion is still kind of the same. We can take a look at his stats. Yeah, you know, average stats. Does have a decent chunk of attack there for being the attacker he is. It's useful everywhere, it's useful nowhere, sort of jack of all trades kind of Astromon here. You can definitely take him anywhere. Probably, again, better for earlier game players that don't have as many access to all the different Astromons. So yeah, you know, so he hasn't really shined anywhere, but he's suitable, you know? Suitable. Just go with the general attacker build, like attack HP, something like that. It would probably be fine. Looking at the water, oh god, 40% 2-turn stun. No, I'm sorry. If I see 40% anywhere, I'm moving on. No way I'm going to be dealing with any 40% stuns. I don't care if it's for 2 turns. Well, here we have a Pier. Let's not see any more 40%s, please. 30%. 30%. I know it's 3 turns, but 30%. I actually thought it'd be 40%. I actually thought it'd be 40%, and I was gonna be like, yeah, this is gonna be funny. 30%. You surprised me, Monster Super League. Thank you for that. That was funny. Goodbye. Oh damn, these were the Astromons I showed off a few days ago on my Hero Festival video at the end there. The leaks from Twitter. Cool. Well, they're in the game now. The other dude, the Inferno guy, he's not, but I think someone told me that was just in like the Korean version or something. Well, Radis also does come in Lightened Darks, so maybe he can redeem himself. 2 saps here. Are they good saps or bad saps? 70%, 1 sap, 2 turns, 60%, 2 types for 2 turns. He's an okay sapper, Pier sapper. Pier sappers can be useful for some things. Wouldn't say he's really good. He's a good sapper for what he is. Level 55 Tower of Chaos. Not a high priority, not really that great. I would just... Why isn't he an attacker though? Why would a Pure Sapper be an attacker? Okay, that makes him already not very good anymore. He does have decent defense, but not very high HP at all for a natural 4-star. I'd probably just go HP defense on him. Being an attacker is really weird, but whatever. And here we have the dark version. Is that a good stun? A 100% stun? 2 turn? Boom. 70% 1 turn. And defense aggression. I typically don't like half aggressors. I just don't like them because it feels like you're going like full defense, which isn't really like optimal for survivability, just for the 5-star skill. And then there's stun here. So it's kind of like, what actually is he? Is he a defense aggressor or is he a CC'er? Because defense aggressors are survivable while still being able to output a lot of damage. But him, in his case, he's kind of like CC, kind of defense aggressor, so I don't really like that, but I'd probably just go crit rate defense on him. Him being a dark type is a big plus because he will have that 100% natural crit damage, and the stun kind of just seems like a little added bonus. He won't be doing much damage at all on his 3-star, but on his 5-star it should be pretty good, and it is AoE, so he could be pretty good actually. He does seem to have pretty high natural base attack, but I wouldn't bump that up anymore just for his 3-star. Just get defense as high as you can. He doesn't have very high natural defense either for a defense aggressor. If we look at someone like C-Star, we can see that C-Star is way better off in this department. As you can see, almost 3,000 for C-Star, where he's sitting at like 2,600, I think. But yeah, all in all, you know, he's okay. But yeah, that'll do it for the natural 3-stars. Actually, I don't think any of the actual 3-stars, so the fire, water, wood, are really any good. I'm gonna re-look through them all right now and I'll give my final thoughts. So we had the other elements of Yeti, Radis, and Wendigo. Fire Wendigo is okay. Wouldn't say he's worth building. He is also okay, probably not really worth building. And I just don't like Yeti's skill set here with the crit damage and then the blind. So it just sounds weird to me. Radis is sad, stun chance, no thanks. Water Yeti is probably still like one of the best out of this bunch because even though it's 60% 2-turn, they're at least attack down, defense down, 2 turns. Decent chances, I mean, you know, average for a natural 3-star. And then his skill set here is also a little bit weird. It's kind of like meant to be an annoying tank, I guess. Decent stats, I'm not sure if he'd be survivable enough for his role there. Again, with the sad chances on the Wood Radis. Wood Yeti, not very good sap there on the 5-star, especially for it being a 5-star. And then Taunt, I never really liked it anyway. And Wood Wendigo, again, is okay. They're all just meh. And then, of course, the Lightened Darks, which were all natural 4-stars. Yeah, most of them were pretty good. Probably one of the best out of those being Light Yeti with that 70% AoE shock there and the morale boost. That's really good. Light Wendigo would be pretty good in Titan, and Light Radis good for Tower of Chaos floor 55 or just kind of in general as your sapper. Does a good job there. And then over here, I didn't like his adrenaline being so selfish, and I'm still not sure about Vengeance, so I can't say too much about that yet. Dark Yeti, decent Astromon League Astromon, okay chance for the stun there, and then 70% 2-turn Seal. I did talk about how Seal isn't really that great in my opinion, especially on a 5-star, and for 70% 2-turn, so a 5-star is very underwhelming, so not really that great actually. And then the Dark Radoth, which could be okay. He's kind of half aggressor, half blah blah. I just talked about that before going into the outro here. But yeah, all in all, I'm quite unimpressed with the new natural 3-stars here. The natural 2-stars were actually impressive compared to this, so good job on the natural 2-stars. There's actually some options in there for like some newer, maybe even some later game players as well. What kind of rewards do I got? Oh snap, I think I get these rewards because I bought the Adventure Package 1 and now we have new areas to explore. I was actually going through Slumbering City on Extreme. I didn't finish it all the way I think, but I'm getting there because I want to get to Glacial Plains. Maybe do a video on that as well. Yeah, I'm at 8 currently. It's been pretty easy. I've been able to auto most of the levels so I can probably get through it. So make sure to leave a comment down below telling me what you think about the new natural 3-stars. Also leaving a like would be greatly appreciated. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.